When meat and vegetables show up on our plates, we don't see where they come from, how they got there, who grew them or harvested them. We just see the end result. Factory farming is very destructive to our current food system. And there's only one way to correct it. It's to focus on the small farmers, their products, your food. Devin Day is the founder and operator of Valley Farms in Washington State. He is combining current technology with traditional farming to create microsystems of sustainable food.
This whole farm is a test to see, can we make this function in a way that can now be duplicated and duplicated and duplicated. And that's where, when I talk about decentralizing food, do we really need Big Ag the way we have Big Ag? Mm-hmm. People will say, oh, well, there's too many people, we got to be able to feed them, Big Ag is necessary. But if you decentralize that and allow 1,000 farmers to farm the amount that that one mega farm in Kansas or somewhere in the Midwest does, and pollutes the crap out of the entire town, is that really necessary?
Yeah.
We have major funnels of Big Ag, and when you sever those bridges, everything stops. But you also can't do it yet because the logistical supply chain to organize those 1,000 farms doesn't exist yet. But the technology to make it exist is there. And so it's basically like a decentralized farming layer across the nation, so you don't have these major corporations owning the supply chain for everything.
Yeah. But then it's up to the people to say, okay, I choose not to buy this, I choose to buy that. I choose to buy local, farm, these eggs.
There's
these
still going to
rabbits,
be
these
a
chickens.
place and a need and for the traditional models. So I think what we should do is let's go check out some of the things that we're doing here on the farm. We'll go check out the bison, we're going to check out the feed mill, our hens, and then to get a sense of what we're actually doing with food. So,
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it. So why bisons?
That's a good question. Why not? No,
why not normal cows? Or?
Yeah, you know, they're not very hard on things, to be honest. They're quite a bit easier on the ground than beef cows, in my opinion. Since it's not a real large commercial herd, though, I mean, it's kind of when we have it available. It's hard though because they're not your traditional cow.
No.
So handling them is a totally different animal.
But you say it's easier.
Harder. Well, they're easier on the land. Like you can't corral them into a trailer or nothing. They'll just tear it to pieces. Yeah. I've seen both Vinny and Frankie from the other herd. I've dropped a round bale in, and these are like 800-pound bales. Sprint across the field, full steam, head into the center of it, and just explode it. And then it just goes rolling like a marshmallow.
So you actually just have them because you think they're beautiful animals?
Pretty much. I mean, couldn't you sit here and watch them for hours?
Yeah, I could.
Want to go out to the pasture for a minute? Come on, guys.
I have never seen so many happy chickens in my life. They're all running around free. When Devin grabs his bucket of feed, they follow him like the Pied Piper, out to the grass.
That is funny.
It's hilarious.
Come on, chick, 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 chick. That is funny.
This is what free-range chicken looks like. It's all the green grass, the mountains in the back. You can just see that they're happy. Happy little chickens.
Look at that big one on the end there.
That's a big egg.
On this farm, he built everything with his family. So the rabbit hutches is built by hand.
And these are just regular greenhouses that we converted. And this is from like a tarp company, and we had them custom cut.
Okay.
So it's a 20 mil, they're pretty bulletproof.
I did not know what to expect, but when I went in there, it was like so clean. The air was flowing through.
Oh my God.
They were clean and calm, and
How cute are
I was
those?
really surprised.
Oh my God. What a little beauty.
Careful, they're quick.
They're quick?
Yeah, they'll spring on you.
I understand. I understand now.
The farm that Mariah and I are doing, like all the eggs, the chickens, the rabbits, but we started our whole operation for years with just the rabbits because they checked so many boxes. But I do give quite a few classes every year for WSU on raising rabbits, and the first thing that I always explain to people is they're the hardest animals to raise right and the easiest animals to raise wrong. What you think is you just, build a hutch for them, put them in, throw them some food, give them some water, they're good to go. If you're not watching their nails, you're not watching their feet, you're not watching their teeth, all these little tiny nuances, their health falls really quick.
What you say, like they don't pollute so much.
Correct. Correct.
They're more sustainable for the system. They're more sustainable. We should eat more rabbit than.
And the health
beef.
factor from the meat is superb.
I've never seen anything like this. On this farm here, they take so much care of their animals.
A lot of this started from this right here. These are barley sprouts from Skagit Valley Malting. And this was something they were just composting. It's 24% protein. It's just a dried grass seed. And so I thought I would love to add that to my mix, right? And here's the big thing too, like with rabbits, most commercial feeds do not have a high enough protein. And it all starts for me with the feed. We have a lot of autoimmune and a lot of very allergen prone people who buy our rabbit because they notice that they don't get any allergens from the meat, and that stems from when the animal eats clean, the animal is clean to be eaten, right?
So this is what it comes out in the end, or what?
So that's this if I pelletize it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's easier to pelletize it before you're putting it together? Or is,
Or
this
if
just
we
going
want
to
we
mix
will
into your
just
feed?
mix that in sometimes to finish some of the beef. This is what we originally started out with. This is just a cheap hammer mill. Still runs like a workhorse, so we use it. And we have different screen sizes.
What's a hammer mill?
Hammer mill just pounds it,
Flat.
grinds it up.
Okay.
So for example, whether it's a tiny chick, a medium size, or a large layer hen or something, we can tweak the size of the grains coming out as
Makes
a
sense.
result for the feed. Like you can buy mineral packs. What I did is I bought every single raw ingredient. I wanted to force myself to understand why each single mineral went in and force myself to produce the right ration per animal all the way down to a single micronutrient.
Devin takes me on a small tour of his processing facility. He got this huge refrigerator that he bought on Craigslist. He built everything in here by himself. It's all a part of this plan, this open source plan. You can use used stuff, you can build cheap so that the other farmers can duplicate it across the country or across the world.
When I started this project, it was kind of a 5-year plan. I think I mentioned this before. 3 years into it, I've proven the modularization of farming, the profitability of small farming, being able to run it just as a family and utilizing what you're doing. I built this entire facility with cash flow from the business. I didn't have to invest in this facility, and I did this whole thing for $10,000. Remember, you are what your animals eat. When I first started, I thought, I just go to a normal mill, buy their feed, and that's that, and throw them some food and water, and then I raise the rabbit and go sell it. Now, as I started to really spend a year or two understanding their digestion, their nutrition needs, and I developed my own feed around it, I went from 12 weeks to a market-ready product to 8 weeks.
But why did it grow so fast?
If you break down the components of a commercial feed, it is byproduct, byproduct, byproduct. So my rabbits ate potato chips all day long.
Okay, filler.
Yeah. And I give them less feed at a 10 times the nutrient dense value because they have the right nutrition. And they grow like rockets.
I thought it was me that was supposed to cook here, but we actually got invited to a dinner. There was a rabbit, it was wrapped in bacon, there was bison ribeye, there was like ribs. We smelled it all day, it was so fantastic. When COVID hit, many of us were afraid how we will get our food. Factory farming and big ag pipelines shut down, there was no meat, there was no rice, there was no pasta. But this might be an opportunity for us to adapt and evolve. What Devin is doing here can be a part of the solution for the future. Small farms working together with the community to produce food at scale for the country and for the world.
He's a big boy. I mean, that head just...
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.